Good early afternoon and welcome to the Blue Plate Special. We are live here at Wisdom Harbor Studios. I'm Andy Andrews from Orange Beach, Alabama. You have joined us here at the Wharf, home of the world famous Marlin statues and the escalator statues. If you come visit, make sure you take a picture of yourself on the escalator statues. They're life-size. They look just like real escalators. Amazing bit of sculpture. Hi, Patricia Clapp, North Carolina. How you doing? Heather Olson, it's cold in Utah? Hard to believe. Bob Woodall, hey, buddy. How are you doing? How are you doing? And let's see, there's Joan from Arizona, Michelle from snowy Indiana. I talked to Bill and Gloria Gaither today for an hour on the phone. And then, hey, did you know today the podcast, The Professional Noticer, has just come out, and Bill Gaither is the guest. Make sure you watch that. Shelley Hess, you like the shirt? This shirt is actually from right down here, the cornerstone of the Wharf, the cornerstone right there. And it's this is Sand Dollar Lifestyles at its finest. This if you come here, you also have to see, not only take a picture on the escalator statue, definitely go see them at Sand Dollar Lifestyle and come in and see us and come see. We've got just kind of a museum junk shop and just a lot of fun. Central Illinois is cold. It seems like it's cold everywhere. There's somebody 0 this morning in Minnesota. Wow. Wonder if Dan Stone's here. Dan, you here? Dan, up there in Duluth. Oh. Brian Miller, how are you doing? Eva Jean Hodge. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're new to us and you're on Facebook, this is your first time, please click the notification button and turn the notifications on your phone. Then you'll be notified when we go live here. And J-Mo, how are you doing? J-Mo lad. Shelley Hess says, yes, Orange Beach needs to be a destination. Scott Carley, hey, I bet Kevin's going to be on here in a minute. Now, wait, back up. What does that say from Renee Dixon? Renee Dixon, do I remember you? Hello. Personal question. Did you attend Girard Junior High School in Dothan, Alabama from 71 to 74? That was me. Gosh, that was me. I think that was me. I'm not sure of the dates, but yeah, that was. Bob, wasn't that it? Yes. And I remember you, Renee Dixon, with your blonde hair. You were a very pretty girl, so I remember you. And, yep, Girard Junior High School. The Girard Junior High School Rebels. I'm sure they're not the Rebels now. I'm sure they're like the Bears or the Artichokes or something. But, yeah, man, Mrs. McLeod was my favorite teacher. Did you have Mrs. McLeod? Bob, I know you did. And Mrs. McLeod, did you know that her picture is here in the studio? I got her picture right over here. And she was just like a favorite of all time. She was the very first teacher to ever tell me that I could write and that I was funny. I mean, the jury may still be out on both of those, but she was the first one to tell me that. There was one day in her class that I did, Renee, she taught English, 8th grade English. And Bob Woodall says, I was a borderline nerd. Wow. Bob says I was a borderline nerd. Thank you. And Renee Dixon Clardy says, yes, that I was a borderline nerd. Okay, well, but I was a funny nerd. I feel like I was a funny nerd because that day in the 8th grade, I said something now Renee Dixon. Now you see, you're being nice. You're saying me too. No, you weren't. You were beautiful. And there's my sister with a smart aleck comment about me being a borderline nerd. I won't even repeat what you said, Christy. I won't even repeat what you said. But I said something in Mrs. McLeod's class, and everybody laughed, which was the intent, right? And she said, "Out." I said, "Ma'am?" She said, out of my class." I was horrified because, I loved her. I loved her. But she said, "Out." And so I got up and I walked out to the hall, and she followed me out to the hall. She had this stern look on her face, and she turned around, she closed the door, and then turned around to me, and she said, "Okay, you're funny, okay? You are funny. You kill me. You crack me up. But you got to let me have the class sometime. But you're very funny. You just need to pick your moments, Andy. You need to pick your moments. You can't do this all the time. You got to let me have the class, and if you pick your moments, it will be funnier, okay? And you write funny too. You can write. So you need to write and write funny. If you write it, you'll get more you get more understanding of how to be funny when you want to be funny, and the timing of it and everything. She said, "Now get back in there and act like I got all over you." Okay? I said, "Yes, ma'am." I loved her. I loved Mrs. McLeod. Yeah. And so I have her picture right over there. And you can see it if you come visit us sometime. Come visit us. We got a lot of stuff. Hello, Mike Williams. Hey, I got two very important things. I want to say hi to the Twitter people. I want to say hi to the Instagram people. And, of course, you guys on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you click that subscribe button. That really helps us, okay? And I've got two. I'm going to tell you about the trade. And the trade is nuts. All right. Have you got pictures of the stuff that we trade for, the balls and the Sports Illustrated stuff? Is that in there anywhere? No, I haven't. Well, you just erase something as soon as they say it. It's pretty much over with. That's it for you. Okay. Well, all right. But I'll tell you about it in a minute. Right now, I want to tell you about something that you can be part of if you'd like to be a part of it, and I'd certainly love for you to be a part of it. Evidently, we didn't know this, but evidently the Veterans Administration in Washington, D.C., for years has been handing out books, gifting books to their employees and to veterans and their families of just, a variety of authors. Just when they get books, they give them away. And they called a couple of weeks ago, and we've been kind of working on this, trying to figure this out. But they called and said that they have gotten so much response from our books that they want to give give our books. And so, in any case, we said, well, okay, what can we do to help? And they said, we need at least 10,000 books. I can't help quite that much. But they did. So that would do for a start. And I'm like, really? Okay. Because I want to help. I want to, but there's, what I wrote this down, 23.5 million veterans in America still alive. And hello from South Africa. Hello, how are you doing? What's this? Stavard. Oh, okay. Glad you're here. And so in any case, I've talked to a couple of people, and Matt and SB, they've all gotten, in on the site. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give a bunch of them, okay? And we've got a couple of sponsors that have already piled in on here. Dr. Barb from ITAM is they're giving 500 books, okay? And then we got another sponsor. I'll tell you back in just a minute. Hey, Kevin Perkins. You can click the link in the chat box, but here's basically what we have figured out that we can do. We asked them, well, what book? And they said, any of your books. And they mentioned Traveler's Gift, The Noticer, Seven Decisions, Heartmender. And so they said, any of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to provide hardbacks. And I would love to team with you. So Fane, hey, from Denmark, how are you, dude? Denmark is like, I think, right next to Mississippi. Anyway, I would love to team with you to make this happen for the veterans and the employees of the Veterans Administration and the veterans' families. But we are going to need some help. It's going to take a little while, and we're going to need some help. But here's what we have figured out we can do, and we've talked to the guys in D.C. And so if you are ordering something from andyandrews.com, there is a place that you can add something to your cart. Okay, so for every $10 that you add, that will pay for a hardback book, the handling, and the shipping it to DC, and we'll ship it. You don't have to do anything. But if you would like to add something, or if you would just like to go on there and just fill your cart with books for the veterans, you can do that, and we'll take care of them. We'll ship them, and we would like to recognize you. We would like to. So we're going to have a special place on the site where we can list your name. The name of your business if you'd like. And so we've got different levels here. Okay, I'm going to tell you what we say. Donations of up to 49 books is a Ruby level sponsor. Donations of books between 50 and 100 is bronze level. I was pushing for Teflon, but everybody back there said bronze. So donation of books between 101 and 500, silver level sponsors. And donation of books between 500 and 999, gold level sponsors. Donations of books between 1,000 and 4,999 is platinum level. And you'll see all this. It's on the site. And a donation of 5,000 and above is a diamond level sponsor. And believe it or not, we're kind of, it's going because we... Dr. Barb found out about it because she already does stuff with the Veterans Administration and takes care of them in a ton of different ways with itam.org. And that's IAITAM.org. You hear them. They sponsor the Professional Noticer. And then another friend of mine that I have worked with quite a bit and who I just absolutely love is Louise Thaxton. Louise Thaxton is the director of American Warrior Initiative, AWI. And this is a nonprofit that deals totally with veterans' situations. And so American Warrior Initiative, I talked to I call her Wheezy. And I talked to Wheezy earlier today to say, hey, this is what's going on. And I don't know if you guys can be involved or want to. And she was dealing with a golden retriever puppy because they provide a ton of service dogs to returning veterans with issues. And so she was dealing today with a golden retriever puppy that they were getting to the trainer. And so it's amazing to see what they do. But American Warrior Initiative, and so she said, yeah, we want to be involved. And I said, okay, we'll just, figure out what you'd like to do. And she said, oh, I'll tell you, we'll do 1,000 books a month for the next 5 months. Okay, seriously? And she said, absolutely. And so, anyway, that puts us well on way to that first goal. But of course, I say we look at the 23.5 million, right? So I would love for you to be a part of this. I would love to be a part of what you're doing to make this happen. I think it's just it's an extra way we can say thank you. And if you have been if you have been touched by any of these books and would love to put some of these books, you can even tell us what book you want, but for $10, we will take care of the shipping, handling. And if you would have been touched by one of these books, or your family has, or your business has, we would really appreciate you saying, hey, I want to put this book in the hands of the family of somebody who's taking care of our country. And so I am thrilled that they called and honored for the opportunity. We're kind of taking deep breaths back here, figuring out the shipping and stuff, but we're very excited about it, and I'm excited to be teaming with you. And thanks so much to Dr. Barb and ITAM, and thanks so much to Louise Wheezy Thaxton at American Warrior Initiative, and pay attention to their businesses too. These people are doing incredible things. So there's that. Hey, you want to hear about the trade? The trade is kind of crazy too. Well, it's been crazy ever since we started, right? Would you like a recap? Let me give you just a little recap here. Because we started the first Blue Plate special in January, the first one of the year, all right? And we just kind of had this idea that we would like to trade something. And you can go back and look at that first show. We had a meeting. We had Matt Little in. We had everybody around the table here, and they were trying to tell me all these kind of rules I had to pay attention to. And hey, Clint Knowles. And so they were telling me these rules I had to pay attention to. And so we were gonna start with a safety pin. And every single Blue Plate special, or between every Blue Plate special, which we generally do 2 a week, generally do Tuesdays and Thursdays, but between them, we're going to trade. And so that first one, between the first one and the second one, I had to trade this safety pin for something. Now, one of the rules they gave me, they said, you can't Andy Andrews it. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they said, well, you can't sign something and make it worth something. I'm like, yeah, if I signed it, that just means I get less for it on eBay. But okay, I get it. And so I said, but I can use my imagination, right? I can imagine something, because, a lot of people, you say, hey, here's a safety pin. What are you trading for? They go, yeah, safety pin? Yeah, I give you a penny. But I figured, come on, let's imagine something. Because if we're going to make a trade, I want it to be a good trade, and I want to have some. So I talked to this kid, had this safety pin. I showed him how to super glue a nickel onto it and then put it on a line. And I said, BB gun target, dude. I mean, this is a BB gun target. Because it's not, it'll spin. It's not going to bounce back at you or anything. It'll spin. And I talked to his parents before I made the trade. So I traded my safety pin for 5 acorns. And that next time, what did I do? I took the acorns, I planted them in little cups and little PVC things, and I planted them. And then I met a guy in Walmart, in the sporting goods department in Walmart, and made a trade with him. I traded these 5 acorns for 3/4 of a bottle of buck urine. Code Blue buck urine, which we were all just kind of fascinated looking at this, that it had instructions not only for America but for France, which means they're like importing buck urine to France. I don't know why, but there has to be a balance of trade. So we're sending them buck urine and we're getting croissants, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, trade it for the 3/4 bottle of buck urine. And then the next time I traded the buck urine, Jimmy Urey, the songwriter, he wrote "I Drive Your Truck" Song of the Year. He just did the #1 for Tim McGraw, "I Called Mama." So Jimmy and his little boy Aiden were up at the camp, and so Aiden got his first deer. So I had, told Aiden, I said, "You're guaranteed, baby, because I got some buck urine." And so, what you do with it. But in any case, Aiden got his first deer. And so Jimmy was somewhere else, and Aiden and I are in the living room, and Aiden's playing with the little shell, the empty shell, and I said, "Well, yeah, you did good with that. It's not any good anymore, but you did good with it." He said, "It's not?" I said, "No, it's gone. You can't shoot it again. It's gone." I said, "But I have a half a bottle of buck urine, buddy, and you'd probably get several more deer with it. I'd like, if you want to trade, I'll trade you my half bottle of buck urine for your empty shell." And he said, "Sure." And so, I did it. Of course, I did it when his daddy wasn't in the room. So about 30 minutes later, his daddy comes and says, "Do you have Aiden's shell that he got his first deer with?" I said, "Yeah, I do. I do." He said, I was going to frame that, I was going to have the deer mounted, and then I was going to frame that shell underneath it. I said, "Yeah, that would have been a good idea. That would have been a really good idea. Unfortunately, I own it, so can't do it now." And so he kind of gave me this look that I figured I better kind of do something pretty quickly. And so I said, "But I will trade you. I'll trade you." Because I saw in your guitar case, I saw some notes that you made when you were writing "I Called Mama." And they're just like beginning notes for this. And I said, "I'll trade you for the notes." He said, "You want my notes?" I said, "Jimmy, you're making $50 jillion off the song. What do you want the notes for? The song's already done. Give me the notes." I said, "Otherwise, I'd be happy to keep this shell. It's kind of a souvenir to me. It means something to me because I was there when Aiden did it." And he said, "Yeah, okay, I'll trade you. So I traded. I got the notes. So then I go home, and you go back and see this show on the air. Remember, I just wasn't happy with what anybody was offering me for these notes. And so on the air, we called the owners of Floribama, and we made a pretty good trade with them. We traded these notes. They're going to frame the notes, put Tim McGraw's picture, put Jimmy's picture, put the album there, and traded it for 2 one-year memberships to the Floribama, which is like free admission to everything, including the mullet toss all year long, and free drinks on Thursday night, and a free drink on Thursday night, and then an 8-hour pontoon boat rental, the double-decker pontoon boat with the slide. So I got that for those notes, and I was pretty happy with that. But we were also kind of seriously. I mean, we've gone from a safety pin to that pretty quickly, and so the next time, I think I'm a couple of trades away from telling you what we got today. So the next time we traded those membership cards, those 2 one-year memberships and the pontoon boat rental, to Jeff and Edie Jacobs, who have a beach house down here, Gulf Shores, Fort Morgan area, and it sleeps 16 people, has a swimming pool. So we traded those memberships and the pontoon boat rental for 3 nights in the beach house. And Gilbert and Deb Little of Fort Worth made that trade, and so guess what I got from Gilbert Little? Do you remember? 4 baseballs. 4 baseballs for the beach house. For 3 nights in the beach, 4 baseballs, 3 nights in the beach house. And the 4 baseballs are, one signed by Lou Brock, and they're in the cases. They're in the nice display cases. One signed by Lou Brock, one signed by Andy Pettit, one signed by Roger Clemens, and the 4th one was not signed. It is just marked. It is a World Series ball. It was prepared for the World Series in 1994. Do you remember what year that was? stroke here. Yep. So it's the only World Series balls that were made that the World Series wasn't played. So anyway, pretty cool, huh? So got those 4 balls. Now, it happened early this morning because I got a bunch of offers for those balls. But it was a granddaddy who finally got those balls for his 2 grandsons, a granddaddy. And the granddaddy would like to remain anonymous, but let me tell you what we got. And so this is available for anybody. Any time from the middle of May through the summer. And this is going to be 2 nights for 2 people. 2 nights for 2 people at a very nice, exclusive, in the middle of nowhere, Alabama. 2 nights at a hunting camp, meals included. Now, when I say hunting camp, this is a really nice place. Okay, so 2 people, 2 nights, meals included, and the full day that you're there, a wild boar hunt, a guided wild boar hunt. And just in case you wonder, like, really, are there wild boars? Yes, yeah, there's a lot of them. And in Alabama and just about every southern state, they traced these back to when Hernando de Soto came in the 1500s and let a bunch of them loose so that when they came on the return trip, there would be pigs everywhere. Well, they hadn't ever been able to get rid of them, and they do damage like crazy. And so I'd like to show you a picture of one that Austin, at this same place, Austin got one last year. Could we see that picture? What do you think about that? That is a wild boar. It's not a rhinoceros. I know it looks like a rhinoceros, but that's a boar. Okay? And so, in any case, so that's what we have now. Now, we're not doing a show. Wait. Is it, when's the next show?
Tuesday.
It's
Next Tuesday.
We're doing the show Tuesday. Okay, so the next show is Tuesday. So between now and Tuesday, if you have something really cool that you would like to trade for a wild boar hunt with, staying in a very nice place in the middle of nowhere in South Alabama, and meals included, and a guided boar hunt, so 2 nights for 2 people. Just come on with your best offer. So what do we got? I mean, there's got to be a ton of people. There's got to be somebody who has something to trade for this that you would like to give to a brother, a husband for Father's Day, a husband and a son. I mean, this is a very cool thing. So, we've done it. Jimmy Urie's done it. Austin's done it. Kevin Perkins has done it. So, anyway, it's going to be great. Okay, let's see. What did somebody say? Susie Armstrong said she was coming back from the beach this weekend and saw one of those lying on the side of the road dead. Didn't believe they were real until the night she saw one. Wow, they are real. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. One time we were coming out of the swamp when Austin and Adam were, they were little. It was like they were probably 7 and 5. And it was after dark. We were walking back to the Polaris, and pigs started fighting out in this clear cut. And they were scared to death. I just acted like I wasn't scared, but it was like, wah! It was just like screaming, crazy. But these things are huge, and those big ones, like that one that you saw Austin with, these things are those direct descendants from that European thing. No, airfare is not included, so sorry. Just Just maybe we can bump it up to airfare with a few more trades. But for this one, airfare is not included. What was I telling you? Oh, I was going to tell you that, you see that European thing in there, and what you're thinking about when you think about a pig, this isn't some kind of like a barnyard thing. I mean, we'll see these things sometimes, and those big Russian boar, the big black European that have that kind of straight bloodline in them, they have kind of longer legs, and they can run like a racehorse. I mean, you would be shocked at how fast they can run. And so just have a tree nearby that you can climb up. Not really, it's not that bad, because they usually run from you or across. But if they run after you and get you, we'll have you on the show. I think it'd be a great episode, wouldn't it? Tusked by a boar. And some of these things have the big tusk. Remind me, and Tuesday, when we reveal whatever trade it is, remind me, because we've got some of those tusks at home. Some of the boys have gotten, and they're kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You can hear those things going through the woods sometimes, and they'll be doing that and like popping their bottom tusks against their top ones, and it's like, and when you get one, if they have big tusks, you can see where through the years they've gone up against each other, and one side of that thing, it's sharp, man. It is so sharp. Yeah, so you don't want to get tusked by a boar, but we'll keep you safe. We'll keep you safe. And Kevin says they run in the direction they are pointed when you scare them. That's true. That is very true. All right, you guys. Well, this has been a very boring Blue Plate special. Hopefully not too boring, but I'm anxious to see what your offers are, people. Come on, this is we're kind of. And you know what? Marcy Crawler says, I'm glad we don't have boars in the Northwest. Oh, you will. You will. Just wait. Because there is a saying we have down here. And the saying is, there's two kinds of land. There's the land with hogs on it, with wild hogs on it, and there's the land that's gonna have wild hogs on it. Okay, because these things are sexually mature at 8 months. They can have up to 3 litters a year of up to 14 piglets. And they just tear everything. They tear up the agriculture. Farmers hate them. And there's it's like a year-long season. Get as many of them as you want. And that's Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia. But where we are, in this place where this hunt is going to be, man, it is crazy. It's crazy. I was actually sitting out in the woods about a month ago, and I texted Austin, and I said, it is 7 o'clock. And I have already seen more than 40 hogs. So, I mean, it's just stayed hidden. So, but it's kind of crazy. And, we don't eat the big boars, okay? Because I'm telling you, like on their shield, on the side right here, it's like that. I mean, it's like that. We had one time that we hung up, that we brought back, and Austin shot an arrow at it, and it was a practice arrow. It was a point. It just wasn't a broadhead. Okay, it was a practice point. It was pointed, and shot a bow with like a 55-pound pull at that time, and shot it right on that shield. It bounced off. So, I remember one time Adam was a little bitty kid, and we had gotten one. We were out squirrel hunting, and Yvonne Palmer says Fort Benning used to pay people to hunt them. Yeah, I know. They just tear everything up. But so anyway, Adam was real little, and we'd been squirrel hunting, and we got one. And he's laying there. Of course, Adam, he's 5 years old or something, and he has this big old Bowie knife as big as his leg. He said, "Can I stab it, Dad?" And I said, "Sure, stab it." He goes, he can't even make it go in that shoulder shield. So let's see. What else can I tell you about them? Oh, yeah, here's what I want to tell you. We eat them. I mean, not the big ones because there's just a testosterone and that adrenaline, and they're not that great. But all the other ones, man, we have sausage made out of them. We'll put a shoulder on the grill. And, I had somebody ask me one time, they said, "You eat those things?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, it's like a pig, and I told Grant Woods, I said, "Grant, I said, it's funny to me that people don't, they don't think you eat those." And Grant said, "Yeah." He said, if you were in a fine restaurant in New York City, what would you expect to pay for a slice of free-range organic pork? Because that's exactly what you got. They're eating acorns and stuff like that. And so, can't wait to see somebody go on a hog hunt. So that's what's up for grabs right now. 2 people, 2 nights at a fabulous hunting camp, a guided boar hunt, and you got until well, if we have a great offer this weekend, I'm going to take it. And so, but you got until wait. Yeah, because I'm not doing one Thursday. That's what it is. I knew there was some time I was not doing one. So this Thursday, I'm not doing a Blue Plate special. But next Tuesday. So we got a week. But I'm just going to say, if somebody offers me like, an SUV for the boar hunt, I'm taking it. Okay, so of course then I'll have to trade it to somebody for something. But that safety pin is like gaining value. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next Thursday. We appreciate you being here with us. As always, thank you for your help with the books for the veterans. Just go on IndianAndrews.com. You can see it, and we'll see you soon.